All right, so I'm on a roll. 2 videos in one day. I just wanted to share with you guys this journal that I made out of a Reader's Digest condensed book. This is the front. It's got kind of a sewing theme to it. And I just put some homemade beads, and that's the charm hanging there. It's got a doily and a button, some vintage wrapping paper, and then this coordinates with the papers inside, and I put corners on all 4 corners. So that's the front. It's the inside. This page is 4 pockets. I put some vintage notions throughout the journal, and here's some packaging from some rayon rickrack, and I made this is just a page out of a lace making book. Folded that up, put that in there, and then this is a little booklet that I made with some vintage ledger paper. So there's that page. And then these are some vintage recipe cards that I altered. I put some scrapbook paper offcuts from the pages, and this is some embroidered leaves. And then on the back I put some ledger paper for journaling. And the pocket is made out of vintage lace, which I think are very pretty, the green, and then this pretty, it's edged in a very pretty pink. Nice. And most of the pages, except I think 1, are pockets. So every page is a pocket. So you have plenty of room for ephemera in this. And then I took, from the offcuts, I made tabs. So there's tabs, page with a tab and a pocket. And then here's some, there's another pocket that I made, and it has a little mini, and a little mini pocket right there. And then I made this out of some vintage sewing patterns and some iron-on. Oh my God, I can't think of anything lately. You know what I mean. So anyway, there's some fibers, some buttons, some offcuts, pretty cool. Another, made another piece of that, the lace illustrations, and then some packaging from Hem Facing. 2 more pages. Little fabric waterfall. This is excuse me, these are examples of quilts, actual photos. I made a flip out, put some vintage notebook paper, and then another spool with the decorations on it. More pages. And then on this page, I sewed some quilt fabric on the corners. There's another altered spool. It has a stamped image of a sewing machine on it. And this is some packaging from some vintage yarn. Another fabric waterfall sewn on. Pages. Fabric embellishment at the top. Another one of those pictures of quilts. And this has a altered recipe card. There's the word original on it. There's that. Stick that back in later. More pages. More quilting fabrics sewn down the side. This is a cross-stitch page out of a cross-stitch book, and I put the ledger paper on the back, made a pocket with the vintage lace and some fibers on the bottom. This is bookmark made out of sewing ephemera and scrapbook paper. Belly band made out of the vintage ribbon and some vintage rickrack. And then I made out of all the pieces that I had left over, I made these mini quilts. I think there's 3 in here. So they flip up and you can put whatever you want underneath. Pages. Big pocket with some more of the pictures of the different kinds of lace out of the book. Why is that not coming out? There we go. Oh, oop. I will replace that or fix it. That's okay. And there's another vintage bookmark. Picture of a quilt. Page. Scrapbooking. Bookmark. Belly band. Another flip up. Here's a pocket I made with fabric and lace, and made another one of the bookmarks. And there's another piece of lace. There's another quilt flip out. Oh. Here's another quilt flip up. A lace pocket with a bookmark that I made out of a quilting book page and some old notebook paper. There's that. And then here's another pocket that I made, and in here is it's a picture of a lady ironing and some buttons and some fibers. More quilt pieces. There's another with a bookmark that I made out of the vintage recipe cards. Some vintage fabric, a little book that I made out of cross-stitch book. It's a trifold with some ledger paper in the middle. Belly band made out of the vintage ribbon and an old button. And then this one's packed. It's got a bookmark, more ephemera, and then this is the end of the book. I made a pocket out of some vintage sewing ephemera, another one of the spools, and another piece of lace. And that's the back. And there's the book, and as you can see, it's very chunky. If you get it and you want to, you can definitely remove some pages out of it. That would be perfectly fine. It's for sale on my Etsy shop, Vintage Variations. I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I hope you go give it a look. Thank you very much. Bye.